Hey guys, what's going on? So today I have an update on the 1996 Chevrolet Lumina, and I know the lighting kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Just bear with it. She is, I think, ready for round number 3, guys. I know that this is kind of a gap of work. I've done quite a bit to this thing to make it be where it's at right now. And I'm sorry I didn't record it, but it is what it is. I just in a time crunch with the Regal back there. And let me tell you guys, I did that poll a while ago, and they voted. Everybody wanted to see, or basically everybody wanted to see, this Lumina run first out of the two, or at least what they thought I was going to run. Actually, the intention was to run the Regal. The Regal was supposed to run at Herkimer, but now this is running at Herkimer. The answer is, I simply ran out of time between getting this car fixed and getting that one even ready. That one doesn't even have a cage or anything in it. It doesn't even run still. So, and we're not far from a week away from Brookfield, and that car, I think, is going to go to Brookfield. I really would prefer not to run it fresh at San Filippo. So, and I really want to be at Brookfield, so we're going to be doing we're going to be hauling butt on that car. But in the meantime, we're going to be smashing this one. So this Saturday at Herkimer County Fair, this car will appear. I don't know whether this video is going up before or after the Derby. So let's go ahead and talk about what I did. Well, first we'll start off with the bumper here. And you'll notice that this is a Ford Freestyle bumper. This is not the bumper I had on it just a couple days ago. I actually had a bumper mounted and everything, but I started reading the rules for Herkimer County Fair. This is the County Fair rules, and it's going to be the same for this one. So I went through the rules, and unfortunately, I didn't see rules for the bumpers at least stick out to my eyes, except for bumpers. Under number 7, bumpers may be welded or chained, whatever it takes to keep them on the vehicle. Bumper can be car style but must remain stock height. I was like, oh, okay. So I took this Crown Victoria bumper hiding right there, and I welded on the front of the car. Well, unfortunately, I misread the rules, because if you scroll up a little bit, and I was just in a rush trying to find bumpers, and there it was. Unfortunately, that was under the minivan and truck rules. If you go up, it isn't a separate section. It's just under general preparation. And eventually you'll see no special bumpers or reinforcements allowed. So that's basically what the rules are for the bumpers for cars, which means that, and I already confirmed, you cannot weld on a bumper. So I was like, well, shoot. So I had to cut that bumper off, and I put this one on. And the reason why I wanted to weld on a bumper so badly is because of this crush box over on this side. It's kicked down and in, and the gap, let me just tell you, is not great. I actually put filler things in there just to make up for the gap that's there, so that hopefully this bumper sits somewhat straight. And it does. It's just at a slight angle because that is pushed in. So, unfortunately, that's just the way that it is. I got good. Obviously, these bolts went in very nicely because this crush box is almost completely straight still. So, unfortunately, it is what it is. That's gonna have to do, and the bumper hopefully will stay on the car. So, let's go ahead and make our way over here. I bent the fender out a little bit. This side I really even haven't, I haven't touched this side. All I have to do is just slap my 15-inch rim on there, and I will have to find another 15-inch tire because, well, this is a 16-inch, and I really don't want to run a 16-inch, so there's that. You will see my door is painted all orange with no numbers on it. That's because at Herkimer, they don't allow you to do your own number. But I'm keeping the roof sign because everybody else keeps the roof sign, so I might as well keep my roof sign with at least my name on it, my last name. So that way they can paint whatever number they want on there. I'm still O2 Cook. So back here we did some work. The back end has been pulled out. You guys will see in here there's a bit less crushed in. I got to clean up a little bit in there still. Got my flag in there. Here, actually, the best way to look at it is right here, because if you guys recall, that rim was hard into that body there, and now it's separated, not by much, but I'm going to keep that tire flat. That way it's got more room, and even if that tire locks up, the rim should still spin. So, or just drag around until it's really hard in there. Unfortunately, it's basically the furthest thing sticking back for a front end to hit, unfortunately, but hopefully they go over it majority of the way anyway. So we'll see how it does. The frame rail that was sticking way out here is now pushed up and in, and what I did was I cut a hole here. I tied this car to the front of an excavator and pulled the whole rear end out, and this frame rail was sitting here, and then we took a jack, pushed down with the excavator, and we bent this frame rail up. What it actually did is it pinched the frame right there. That was not pinched like that before, and it's pinched before the subframe. And so hopefully, theoretically, this should go up, and ideally it will go up and not put as much pressure over there, at least at the start. Eventually it will, obviously, but hopefully for at least a little bit it doesn't. Over on this side, and let me tell you, that was not easy to get that out that far. This side's still in pretty darn good shape. Still got plenty of room to crush in. The floor really hasn't moved. The roof is just starting to buckle right here. That door, by the way, is sticking out pretty far. There's a pretty good gap on it, unfortunately. You guys can see there. I'll have to review the rules. Once again, I got to go through these over and over again and make sure and see if I can weld this door shut. I swear Herkimer might have said that. I'll have to read the rules again, but I'm not going to quote anything. But I thought I might have read that the doors could be welded, but I'm just going to keep it with the chains, at least for that side, because at San Filippo, if this car does go to San Filippo, you're not allowed to weld the door shut. So I'd really prefer not to weld the door shut and then have to cut the welds, and then things may get really funky. So I don't know. I'd rather just let things bend how they're going to bend. This side's still got plenty of clearance because the whole subframe's twisted. I'd really like to use this side if I can. I'm going to try to focus this side and try to get equal with that side, and hopefully avoid taking really hard shots on that side, but you know, if it happens, it happens. This side, this door is obviously now white. Why didn't I do both orange? I don't know. That's the way I felt like doing this. Plus, the orange paint I have is expensive. This white paint's really cheap that I just got from Walmart. I got the black paint and the white paint from Walmart, and it's really cheap. It's like, I think $1.10 or $1.29 a can, and right now that's cheap. So use that, and made the door white. That way they can paint their number on mine, on my car. Here was the problem child. This is basically what took me out in the last derby, was this side here. And so this side took quite a bit of work, but we ended up getting this subframe to pull a little bit back to straight, and we got some clearance between the firewall and this tire here, and I did beat that back further in and stuff, so it is a little bit further back than what it's supposed to be, but really it's not that much further back. It's probably about ½ an inch further back than where it sits from the factory, because on this side you guys can see that's where it is from the factory, and you guys can see there's not much of a gap there to begin with. So not too shabby, and it's got some room to move. It probably will end up going back to that spot. I am afraid possibly that the whole subframe bends in that spot, but we'll see. But what I do know is that right now the unibody frame is still pretty straight, and except for where it bent at the firewall a little bit, but that's not, like I said, such a big deal. My fuse block is doing okay here. He's pretty loose, got some movement to move in case he has to move. Over here we got, obviously my air neck is nice and tight like before. This frame is absolutely still straight on this side, completely straight, nothing going on with that. So, and this isn't kicked over or anything yet, so that's good. Doing pretty good up front, so hopefully we'll be able to get a pretty good run out of the front end of this car. That's where the strength is in these cars, at least theoretically. I've had a lot of good luck with the back of these Luminas when they're clean, so stay tuned, guys. The Derby is coming up after this video, so fingers crossed we get a good run out of this car finally, except for, I mean, yes, we got a third and about a fifth or a sixth, but we want higher. We want better. So let's get a good run out of this thing. Hopefully I can drive well. I haven't been driving the greatest this year, so hopefully I can make up for it at Herkimer and pull out at least a top 2. So that's kind of hopefully my plan. If that's not the way it turns out, well, that's not the way it turns out. At least hopefully I can put on a show. And I know some of you guys that are watching this video will be there watching me. So stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.